You asked for it. You got it. Friend of the program, one of our all-time favorites. Always love having him on. You heard him at the Super Bowl say, "Come on, Bob Stu, you gotta call me. You gotta get me back on the show." Our guy, former NFL quarterback, just went into the Ring of Honor in Arizona. Our guy, Carson Palmer. Carson, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm well, Adam. How are you? Thanks for having me, buddy.
It's always great to have you back on the show. And you're here on behalf of Cadenwood and its new performance-based CBD sports cream, Level Select. Level Select, an instant game changer meant to help maintain a healthy and active lifestyle, from smaller everyday activities to physical exercise, competitive sports, travel, and more. The CBD sports cream comes to market in 3 levels of intensity, goes on smooth without leaving that greasy residue. Carson, you got to tell us what you're doing with our good friends over at Cadenwood with Level Select.
Well, I'm using it twice a day to start off. It's something that's helped me get past a lot of the pains and aches I had after playing for 15 years and multiple surgeries and just all the injuries I have and all the things that I still want to do even though I'm done playing football. It's enabled me to do those things. It's something that's, with the hip issues I have an arthritic hip that at some point I need to have replaced, but I just don't want to do it right now. So I use Level Select, Level 3, when I wake up in the morning and before I go to bed at night to help me get through the night sleeping well. So it's been something that's really enabled me to do all the activity that I want to do, that I was a little bit worried about coming out of the NFL and knowing I was going into retirement. I was worried about how my body was going to feel and all the issues and injuries that I had throughout my years. It's something that like I said, is helped me run around, chase my kids, and coach their sports, and go on bike rides, and fish, and hunt, and do all the things that I love to do. So, Level Select, something you can buy at level or selectmylevel.com. It's great for guys like myself in their 40s, almost in their 40s, to folks like my parents who are having a tough time getting around, that need some ease of the pain that they have in their 70s.
I love it. Again, it's selectmylevel.com, selectmylevel.com. Carson, it must have been amazing for you, your family, the pictures, the video, great going into the Ring of Honor. Want to get your take on that in Arizona, how special it was, and also your early impressions of that combination with Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, it was an amazing weekend. To be back in the stadium, in front of our fans, and then to get to go down on the field and to go up in the Ring of Honor is a tremendous honor. Something that you don't really quite think of, I guess, ever as a player. I mean, it's something you want and you see as you enter stadiums, seeing different guys' names that are in the Rings of Honors throughout the stadiums that you play in. But you never really think it's reality until you get the call from the owner, like I did. And Michael Bidwell called me and gave me the opportunity to go in the Ring of Honor, and for my family to be there, and all my friends that supported me throughout my collegiate career and in the NFL. It was just a tremendous opportunity, and it felt good to be back down there in that stadium and on that grass in front of our fans.
How about Kyler and Cliff? You digging this combination? Look, they're going to be growing pains. And I was thrilled that they were able to get a victory in Cincinnati, the old Carson Palmer Bowl, as they dubbed it over the weekend. At least I dubbed it officially now. I don't know if anyone else said that. That was my thought. So
no, that was a big thing this weekend. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, that's Carson Palmer's funny. That's why I love talking to him. Yeah, now, it's been interesting for Kyler. What's your take on what you've seen so far?
Yeah, I mean, he was the number one pick for a reason. I mean, you saw the touchdown run at the end, some of the plays he's made with his feet, and he's starting to make with his feet. But he was the number one pick, and Arizona had the number one pick for a reason, because they weren't very good the year before. So they're in that rebuilding, rebooting mode, however you want to say it, with a young coach, with a young quarterback. And I really like his game. I mean, I know there's going to be some batted balls. Those are going to happen with a shorter quarterback, but you also have that touchdown run there to seal the game at the end of the game, because he does run 4.3, which is obviously rare at that position. So I think we're really starting to see this offense kind of figure it out. Guys are starting to gel. David Johnson's starting to get the ball in space a little bit more, and he's starting to take off. And I think as this season continues to progress, you're going to see a little bit more and more of that. And I felt like finally, for the first time, you saw Kyler really using his legs and using that speed. And he's really starting to figure out that he can do some of the things that he did at the collegiate level in the NFL, and then there's some things that he can't do, and there's some sacks he's taken that you just need to take. You need to figure out. You need to feel, and you need to experience those as a young quarterback to know what you can and can't get away with in the NFL.
Carson, what's the thumbnail sketch, in your opinion, when you look at the NFC West? I mean, this division is pretty amazing. I think the Niners are beyond legit this year. You know, you saw them last night, what they did to Cleveland. You know, I still have very high hopes for the Rams. Seattle, tough as nails. Russ playing at an MVP level. Is there a favorite right now in the NFC West?
Yeah, I'm not sold on San Francisco like you are.
Okay.
I do think Seattle's got it. I think they're going to run away with it. I just didn't. I don't like what I'm seeing from Jimmy Garoppolo. They don't have a real threat number one receiver. They really don't have a number two receiver. They've got George Kittle, who's phenomenal, and probably the second best tight end in the league behind Travis Kelce. But I just don't like the firepower they have outside. If they get in a game where they can't run the ball for 250 yards like they did last night, and they have to throw it, they're going to have some issues. There's some accuracy issues you're seeing with Jimmy Garoppolo. He's still not completely trusting in that knee, and I really think Seattle's built to play single high defense and put another guy down in the box to stop the run and force you to beat them with your quarterback. And I just don't see Jimmy Garoppolo and that receiving core beating Seattle twice in the year to win the division. So I think Seattle's got a really good shot to run away with this division.
So with that said, and whether or not I disagree or not, and I do, you backed it up incredibly well. How big of a game is that this week with the San Francisco 49ers and the LA Rams?
Well, I think there's even more issues going on in LA, and that's why I like Seattle. The offensive line has really been struggling.
Yeah.
Todd Gurley is not Todd Gurley from 2015. This is a different running back, and Sean McVay is brilliant, and there's no doubt about it. He's a great coach, but that whole system is built off of the ball being smashed inside and smashed outside in the inside and outside zone, and you're just not seeing those kind of runs from Todd Gurley, which then open up your play-action passing game. So, until they figure out how to get that running game going with that offensive line that's been a little bit banged up, that offensive line's also pretty old, and going to have some injury issues. They've been very fortunate the last couple of years to stay intact and stay healthy. You're starting to see some of that crumble a little bit. But until they really get that running game going, I just don't see them being the same team they were last year, especially with the way they're playing on defense. I mean, they're giving up a lot of points on defense also.
You reference, obviously, San Fran and Cleveland. What are you seeing out of the Browns? I mean, to me, it starts with the head coach. I did not like that hire with Freddie Kitchens. They're not buttoned up. Baker Mayfield, and I happen to like his talent. The act is – I'm not feeling it, Carson. What do you see when you look at Baker, Freddie, and the Browns?
Well, I think one thing that would help is if Baker tried to stay in the pocket and get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. I mean, there's so many opportunities where guys are open, and he's kind of used to that college offense, that Oklahoma offense, where guys are open for seconds. In the NFL, guys are open for milliseconds, and the ball's not coming out as quick as it needs to be on the number of plays. He's so comfortable getting outside the pocket and wants to get outside the pocket, but that's not where today's game is won from. It's won from inside the pocket. He really is comfortable and really can get you outside the pocket on the numbers, but you can't live out there. You need to live in the pocket and get the ball out quick, and I'm just not seeing the ball come out accurately quickly, and that's going to be an issue. You're putting your offense out there and going three and out, eventually the defense is going to break, even though they are extremely talented on that side of the ball. So I think it all starts, inside the pocket with Baker and him figuring out how to get comfortable in there and get rid of the ball quicker.
Final question. Sam Darnold officially cleared for the Jets. I mean, I love this kid coming out of USC. I still have ridiculously high hopes for him, Carson, for this year and beyond. What's your take on how good Sam Darnold can be for Adam Gase with Le'Veon Bell and the Jets?
Yeah, I just don't know if that's enough.
Sure.
I love Le'Veon Bell, love Sam. Adam Gase is a great coach. He's got, he's been good wherever he's gone, even though he's been through more injuries than probably any, young coach in the NFL. And then, he gets to New York and loses Sam right away. It's kind of been bad luck wherever he's gone. But, they just don't have a number one. They're a little bit like San Francisco. They don't have a clear-cut number one or even really a clear-cut number two receiver outside. Le'Veon Bell's great. The offensive line's pretty good, but at the end of the day, you need a guy that can step up and run a curl versus press coverage and run a dig versus press and find different holes and zones. And until they find that guy, they're going to struggle a little bit. But there's no doubt. I mean, I thought Sam was the best quarterback coming out of that draft class, and we just haven't quite seen him reach his potential, which is good. He's still a young player. They're still building that franchise around him. They need to continue to get better outside at the receiver position. But the ceiling is extremely high for Sam. I can't wait to watch him play this week.
Yeah, me as well. I think he's going to be excellent, and I love that class. He was my number one. Level Select now available at selectmylevel.com. Carson, I always love having you on the show, my friend. Keep up the great work, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Adam.
You got it, Carson Palmer. He's really opinionated and really tapped in. That was, even on disagreements, that was an excellent, excellent spot. I could talk to Carson all day.